Hello there and greetings. Welcome to the first chapter of this course. Here, we'll discuss the definition, principles, and importance of nutrition, and we'll talk about diet and its components. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So, what is nutrition? The concept of nutrition is diverse. It's not so easy to explain in a certain way. However, from a scientific point, it is about studying the nutrients vital to health and how our body uses them. There is also a sociological concept for nutrients which defines it as the relationship between humans and foods. Did you notice the common aspect in both concepts? It is what we eat. And what we eat differs enormously amongst the human races. Some of the main reasons for this versatility in foods are our psychology and mood, genetics, economic state, and external factors like availability, presentation, and food marketing. The core scientific focus on nutrients is based on how they contribute to our bodily functions and what happens if there is no adequate supply of nutrients. However, nutritionists primarily focus on an individual's eating habits and their food selection's psychological and physiological effects. Now let's find out why nutrition is so important for us. Human nutrition is a science fundamental to biomedical and health research. It has a big impact on public health, general psychology, and the food industry. Extensive research and studies are conducted based on the principles of nutrition. In the field of macro or population, the research activities include statistics, policy and governmental interdepartmental strategic analysis, study of the relationship between diet and disease, sociology. The focus of this study was to establish better monitoring of nutrient consumption at a national level. On a more individual level, the research topics include psychological research into behaviors and beliefs, food and science tech, sports science, medicine. The objective of this type of research is individual guidance to ensure the information flow across several professional sectors like health and media. The third form of research is conducted on a more specialized level. Laboratory research on nutrients focus on physiology, biochemistry, molecular biology, body composition imaging. The goal is to define the best way for survey and assessment. Now, let's explore our foods. We, humans, are omnivores. It means we eat everything. Yes, from cockroaches to gigantic whales, human eating habits around the globe includes all. There are a lot of factors that determine what we eat. The main ones are availability, tradition and culture, and religious beliefs. We typically eat 3 times a day. There are also 3 parts to a meal. The main course consists of staples, which usually is a food rich in starch. Examples are cereals, roots, or tubers. After that comes the secondary source of energy, which includes meat, fruits, and vegetables. Finally, we have what we call the desserts. These are non-essential foods. We don't really need them to keep us alive. However, they are tasty, and everybody loves a sweet bite after a good meal. This type of food includes cakes, confectionaries, preserves, sauces, and puddings. Now, do you know what a diet is? There is a common misconception about diet. People think diet is controlling our food habits to either lose or gain weight. The truth is, we all are on diets all the time. A diet is just our individual eating habits. All humans eat, and we all eat different things at different times and ways. So, we all have different diets. Despite such versatility, the core components that compose a diet are limited and can be found in all diets. These are called macro and micronutrients. Macronutrients include proteins, fats, carbohydrates, alcohol, and micronutrients include vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. If you want to construct a healthy and balanced diet for yourself and your family, you must know about the common food groups. Here's a list to give you a basic idea. Meat, fish, eggs, dairy, etc. are high-protein foods. Cereals, roots, and tubers are rich in carbohydrate. You can get loads of vitamins and minerals from fruits and vegetables. Then there are oil and fat-rich foods, which are necessary for certain metabolic processes and should be consumed at a controlled level. Finally, let's look at some graphs. The National Diet and Nutrition Survey in the UK studied people of various age groups to understand their dietary patterns. The dietary habit of an average UK citizen looks like this. Only 28% of adults were eating the recommended 5 portions of fruit and vegetables per day, and the average was 3.7 portions per day. All age groups eat around 140 grams of oily fish per week. Men consume 159 grams of sugary soft drinks per day and women 100 grams a day. The average daily amount of energy from free sugars is more than double the recommendation. The average daily intake of fiber was below recommendations. The average energy from saturated fat was near the recommendations. The vitamin and mineral intake stats show that 17% of 19 to 64-year-old adults get less than recommended vitamin D. The amount of vitamin A adults need is 0.7 milligrams a day for men and 0.6 milligrams a day for women. The amount of thiamine adults need is 1 milligram a day for men and 0.8 milligrams a day for women. Adults aged 19 to 64 need 40 milligrams of vitamin C a day. The amount of vitamin E you need is 4 milligrams a day for men and 3 milligrams a day for women. Adults need approximately 1 microgram a day of vitamin K for each kilogram of their body weight. The information on vegetarians and vegans are also here. 2% of those surveyed were vegetarian and less than 1% vegan. Both were popular in women aged 19 to 34 years old. All avoided red meat, 92% white meat, and 29% all animal products. With that, you've completed the first module of this course. Let's travel back a little and review the learning outcomes of this course. Nutrition has both scientific and sociological definition. Nutritional studies cover many sectors. Our meals can be divided into multiple portions according to their necessity for our survival. Macro and micronutrients together form our diet. We'll conclude this module here. See you soon in the following ones.